I believe will want to hear what you have to say. Okay, so I will stop sharing the screen now, and I believe that you are able to share from your side the screen. If you have any issues, let me know. Just to let you know as well, this recording or this meeting today will be recorded, and it will eventually be made available on our YouTube. So if any student who wasn't able to join us today will be able to see the whole presentation after the meeting ends. And I hope that is okay with both the students and also the presenters today. So I will leave it up to you now, Ms. Janice. Thank you.
Hi. Recently, this week, actually, I had a telephone call from a student who will be joining other students in Rome in about 2 months. And he called me up to see why he should go and not remain here in Malta, and which study units he should be choosing. Now, ideally, these questions are questioned now, and the point of this session is to help you identify the answers to these questions. So, the presentation will address what is Erasmus Plus, why Erasmus Plus, and how can I apply and get selected for an Erasmus Plus mobility. What is Erasmus Plus? Erasmus Plus for higher education institutions. All registered students at the University of Malta are eligible to apply. Now the applications have opened this week, and more information about how to apply will be provided later on. Students who wish to undertake a study mobility will need to apply a year before. And those interested in a traineeship mobility, which I will explain more about now, need to apply, need to inform us ideally when the intended traineeship is to take place, so that we can inform them when they need to submit the application. So study mobilities must take place during designated mobility semesters. FEMA's actual designated mobility semester is in the year 2, semester 2, but for the past years, FEMA has been allowing students to proceed on mobility in semester 1, except for students with accounts as one of their majors. FEMA is to confirm next year's mobility semester. Ideally, the situation is semester 2 mobilities sometimes have an issue with the start date, the clashing in the start date of the host university abroad with the semester 1 examinations in Malta. So this is why FEMA has been allowing students to proceed on mobility in semester 1 to overcome these challenges. Academic semester dates vary from one university to the other. So universities that are in the Scandinavian countries or universities such as in the UK, they normally start a bit before than our academic calendar. So these are universities where there are usually clashes in semesters, and even if you wish to undertake a mobility study semester abroad, if you intend to proceed in the first semester, universities in Scandinavia, for example, they start in mid-summer. So you need to keep these in mind as well. Students, when they are being selected, they must fulfill any minimum average marks requirement set by the faculty, institute, center, or school. Particularly for FEMA, it is 55%. That is the threshold. Traineeship mobilities, on the other hand, may take place during summer months or within the year following graduation. Traineeship mobilities they are an option for students to either consolidate their work experience abroad or to further their research. This can be done in the summer when there is no academic commitments, and also if you wish to see either if you intend to proceed on a master's course abroad, you get to experience living abroad to see if doing an actual mobility, an actual full course abroad, if it is for you or not. Traineeship mobilities is also another option for students who are either unfortunately rejected due to not reaching the minimum average mark, or also if you enjoy your study mobility, you can decide to opt also for traineeship mobility. In fact, a student may participate in mobility periods totaling up to 12 months for each study cycle. So for instance, if you go on a study mobility abroad for 6 months, you spend a semester, you would have remaining another 6 months to use during your undergrad studies. If you then decide to enroll on a postgraduate degree with the University of Malta, you will have another 12 months to use. So why Erasmus Plus? In a few words, to enhance your education experience and grow academically, increase your intercultural soft skills, and strengthen your employability and language skills. You can either opt for the study mobility, which is the traditional mode of educational experience by studying in classrooms, following lectures. Of course, you might be following lectures in class, or right now online if it has to be the case. This is a testimonial of one of the students that we had abroad. Also, we will be listening to 2 other experiences later on. The student said that although my Erasmus experience came with its ups and downs, the benefits significantly outweighed the challenges. I had ample support from the international offices of both my home university as well as my host university, which allowed me to develop my interpersonal and academic skills in a safe environment. My Erasmus Plus experience gave me the confidence to pursue more intimidating personal and career-related challenges in the future, which is one of the goals I intended to achieve through participating in the program. Since I coordinate mobilities for students and also for staff, and I also experienced Erasmus myself as a staff of the University of Malta. It does come with its ups and downs, yes, especially when you're, for instance, preparing the documents that you are required to submit. I'm sure that is not fun for anyone, but we had several students who told us that it was worth it at the end. Okay, so grants offsetting some of the costs. The Erasmus Plus grants are not intended to cover all the costs of your mobility, so it's there to help you. But at least the University of Malta students, all Malta students, are awarded with the highest possible amounts due to the geographical location. So the group 1 countries, this is the category of countries that have a high cost of living: Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Ireland, Luxembourg, Sweden, UK, Liechtenstein, and Norway. For the UK, I will be speaking to you about it in the next slide. Group 2 countries, 720 per month, Austria, Belgium, Germany, France, Italy, Greece, Spain, Cyprus, Netherlands, and Portugal. Group 3 countries, it's 670 per month. These are those that are normally found in the Eastern European region. It's Bulgaria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Hungary, Poland, Romania, Serbia, Slovakia, Slovenia, North Macedonia, and Turkey. And also there is a one-time travel contribution, which is calculated by distance bands. We are provided with a distance calculator. It's provided by the European Commission. We input the origin and destination. So it's Malta to, for example, Ireland. And depending on the distance, we will see how much you will be awarded with. Ireland, for example, it's 375 euros, if I'm not mistaken. This information can be also found on our website. And I insist that you should start saving because, as I explained, this is not intended to cover all your expenses, but to help you. It also depends on the lifestyle that you choose to have while on mobility. So for instance, if you decide to go eat outdoors every day, I'm sure the grant will not cover your expenses. And also, if you intend to go to countries where the cost of living is very high, do keep in mind that you need to start saving up. Christmas is coming, see that you get monetary gifts. And also, more about the grants is that students who are now deciding to opt for a traineeship mobility will be receiving 150 per month in addition to the grants I mentioned before. Now, with regards to the UK, as you well know, Brexit took place a year, 2 years ago. They have been transitioning out of the program and they are now out from the program. However, we do have leftover funds from a project that has been awarded to the UK and to us before Brexit. So we're using up the money that we have left. The mark that there is definitely no grant for is the after 31st May 2023. So students who intend to proceed on a second semester or a full year mobility where universities end date goes beyond the 31st May, do note that you need to self-fund the remaining duration. How can we apply and get selected for an Erasmus Plus mobility? You need to consult the list of placements which is available on our website. I can show you if you prefer also by sharing after the presentation a screen directly to our website. You need to list down 5 preferences in your application. So when you consult the list of placements, ideally you start researching about the universities that are available so that you can be able to list down your 5 preferences. It is important to check the language of tuition, check the course catalog, check if the language of tuition is not available on the course catalog, just feel free to email the partner universities. If you have any issues with finding their contact email address, please feel free to email us and we'll provide you with their email address. Also, this research must take place now during the Christmas holidays because this is not something that you should be doing on the day of the deadline. Now, the course catalog, the study units that you need to register abroad to see if they match your course. You need to first obtain the course catalog and then consult with your heads of departments. When selecting your preferences, as I said, do keep in mind that the cost of living of each country, you have different budgets, you know your needs, you know your limits, so do take that into account. Consider person likes, dislikes. For instance, if you do not like cloudy weather, definitely you need to decide not to attend certain countries, like for instance, Ireland. But if you like greenery, definitely I would suggest Ireland. Now, this is very, very important for us and for you. See where you want to go, because we have situations where students still decide to list down the preferences that their friends list down. For one of the reasons is so that they ideally go together, and this is unfortunately sometimes not the case, most of the times actually, that you are able to go with your friends because the selection is based on academic performance. And also we had situations, very unfortunate situations, where at the time of application we had friends applying and putting down the placements that their friends want to go to, and then when the mobility comes, during that time, something happens, friends fight, and they do not want to go because that's not the actual place that they want to attend. So see what you want, where you want to go. It's good, yes, to attend with your friends. However, do keep in mind also that you will be meeting other students abroad, not just the locals. There are also other international students. There is also a student organization, Erasmus Student Network, which is available. You will find them in every country, every city. You can even get in touch with them before they organize events. So do not be disheartened if you are not chosen, you are not selected to go where your friend is going. Now, the selection is based on academic performance. We will rank you once your results of semester 1 are published. We will allocate the placements according to the preferences listed. So for instance, if the top 3 students select University College Cork, for example, and University College Cork only accepts 2 students, the first 2 will be allocated University College Cork, and the third student will then be allocated the second preference. The endorsements are done by the department. We will send the list of ranking to the departments together with the allocation of placements, and they will endorse you. And then we will proceed with the nominations. When we proceed with nominations, the host university will contact you to submit what is referred to as the exchange application form with them directly. Also, when you are selecting your 5 preferences, do not loosely just randomly put down any university, because if you're not either happy with it or you had a change of heart, note that switching and shifting of placements is not allowed. Some information about student mobility for traineeships. Student mobility for traineeships is about consolidating your work experience abroad or furthering your research. You need to secure your own placement. It is not based on selection by academic performance, so it is available for everyone, even if unfortunately your academic average is a bit poor. You need to find either a legitimate company, organization, university. You may still submit the application form now by the deadline, and right to be confirmed under the placements list, and you can still then look for a placement, but till then the application is on reserve. If we have a high number of applications and the funding is very limited, in this case, the applications will be on a first come, first served basis. The duration of this type of mobility is a minimum of 2 months and a maximum of 12 months. Now, We have just received information, updated information that to carry out a traineeship in the UK, you will need to apply for what is referred to as the UK Tier 5 Certificate of Sponsorship and Visa. The visa is awarded on a points-based system by the UK government. So if you intend to carry out a traineeship mobility until May 2023, it is technically possible, but you will have a lot of difficulties or uncertainties rather until you have a confirmation that your visa was granted, since it is points-based. Due to this, we encourage students to look for a traineeship mobility elsewhere than the UK. The online application form. The online application form, it's available on our website. We have a general information session coming up. Some information is what I have given you here, but feel free to attend. Even you could learn more about the program from questions from other students, and also there is a lot of information we understand to process, so it helps to listen to another session. The deadline of the applications is 31st January 2022. Changes to the preferences are not accepted after the deadline. To effect changes before, submit a new application. The most recently submitted application will be considered as final. Late applications will not be considered. So if you are not sure if you want to attend, we do recommend that you submit an application until you make your decision. If you then decide that you do not want to go and you have a placement already allocated to you, please do inform us immediately so that we can provide that placement to another student. Please feel free to get in touch with us. If it's related to getting in touch with universities, the application, maybe also you can ask us what previous students with a combination of subjects, where they attended, what studies they took. We can check that information without providing the names of the students due to GDPR, but please do not leave this till the last minute, because in the last week of the application, we will not be able to respond to these kind of queries due to several applications being coming in and processed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Janice Marcia. That was a very informative, at least from my side. I am really interested in doing a traineeship. Coincidentally, I finish my dissertation exactly on the 31st of January. So during that time, I might be able to submit an application. We'll see there and then. May I remind students that this is an opportunity for you. And now that we have the Erasmus office and the representative from their side, I suggest that you ask questions now. So if you have any questions with regards to anything that we've covered, or Ms. Janice has covered, you can ask these questions now, and feel free to do so. It's very open. So I give the floor to anyone who would like to ask a question.
Hello.
Hi.
I was just wondering if I understood correctly. So if we have a major in accounts, we cannot apply for an Erasmus placement in first semester?
For a study mobility, there is, up till now, the recommended mobility semester for students with accounts as one of their majors, it is strictly the second semester in second year. But do consult with your head of department just in case things change.
No, I can confirm this. It's the second semester only for accounts. It's the second semester, and the reason being is because it's linked to the UK ACCA and the MIA, the Malta Insurance Institute of Accountants. The thing is, I have worked also with the previous head, so that we get more there will be more placements. And in fact, there is a placement, Janice, you can correct me if I'm wrong. There is a placement now with UTS University in Poland also.
Yes.
There's the
Yes,
availability
there's-
of Poland. Before there wasn't, because now Dundee, I think Dundee it was before, Dundee is in the UK, so it's no longer possible.
But coincidentally, last week we received an email that they have decided to participate for the
Okay.
last year. So it will be available for the academic year 22-23. However, do keep in mind if the end date goes beyond 31st May 2023. So if, for instance, you have exams coming up, that part would need to be self-funded.
And Andrea, there are some complications also when you do something with the UK at the moment. But I'm in Poland, it's quite open. So it's a good university. I've been there. So let's say, hopefully we will have many others from Poland later on. However, as yet, we've already done, I think only one there is in Poland now, Janice.
Sorry?
Oh, only one there is out of UK that they can
Yes,
apply.
yes, only one.
There will be another one because I'm working on it with somebody from the faculty. However, there aren't many, and I mean it's very competitive.
Very competitive. At least what we have done recently, we increased the number of students that they could take, and I believe it's for 8 students right now.
Yes, yes, something like that. But in the future, we'll have, I mean, even in that university, hopefully we'll have more placements.
Okay, and this applies even because I'm currently a second year. So if I were to apply next year when I'm a third year, this thing of accounts for second semester only still applies in theory.
Yes, yes, you're not, I mean, they're not going to, as yet, they, from what I can understand, I mean, because I speak a lot with them, with the head of department, who is Loren now, and before it was Peter Baldacchino, Professor Baldacchino. They told me that they don't have any intentions of, you know, opening it up to another semester or another year. So, unfortunately, we're stuck with just the second semester, and this is only for, is mainly for accounts.
Andrea, did you say that you are a second year student?
Yes, I'm currently a second year student and I'm interested in applying for Erasmus for next year.
For study mobility, however, you always need to apply a year before. So unfortunately, you would have needed to apply last year to go in this upcoming second semester.
No. I mean, like what, like next year, so 2023.
You'll be in third year, is that right? In 2023.
Exactly.
So you cannot apply, but there are other things that which I will inform you about, which maybe you can apply on something totally different.
Wait, so just to confirm, Tajifiri, because like I'm not saying for this semester, I mean for next semester, I'm saying for the next scholastic year.
But the designated mobile semester for students with accounts, it's the second semester in the second year.
Okay.
And you have to apply a year before.
Okay, and what about 2023 then? When I'm an actual third year, so first year semester, third year, first semester,
You
for
cannot
example.
apply, no.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Well,
But I will be informing you of other things you can do, if when I will be talking.
okay. Thank you.
So maybe some other questions, which maybe one more. We can continue with the talk as well.
Hi. On the list of placements, there is mentioned a lot business administration, and I'm not exactly sure what exactly it is because we don't have that subject as such. And
Yes, yes. The list of placements, the subject areas that are mentioned, in most cases, well, in some cases, they are listed according to the subject code that we are provided with by the European Commission. So we would need to find the nearest area to in which the agreement we are signing. So all you need to do in that case is you look up their course catalog and see if that university is applicable to you.
Okay, so as such, the study units don't have to be identical to what we would at this university.
No, they don't. I mean, I can answer this. The one thing that we are encouraging, students to go to Erasmus because we believe as a university, I know I have to talk later, but I can jump in on this. We believe that, let's say, students mature, okay, when they go abroad, they get new things, they get new ideas. Enclosing people within, the subject study units that we've got only, and not encouraging them to think outside the box or think differently, was keeping students back. So we want to encourage you to go abroad and to, let's say, and to do other subjects that maybe we don't offer. However, some type of equivalency with our study units. For example, you cannot go abroad and say, look, I did squash. I practiced squash, and then, that would be something which is to do with sports. But if you say you did squash management or else management of sports, it's still management. So we might, let's say, allocate it as equivalent to a organization management for example, course. So if you do administration, and I have administration in insurance, for example, it's still administration, so we can take it as equivalent. So it is not strictly, the subject has to be strictly exactly the same subject exactly. For example, if it is banking management, and you have to find exactly the same words, banking management, with the same topics exactly. We don't look for that. In our case, in most of the case of the faculty, okay, maybe with the exception of management, of accountancy, we accept, similar subjects, or else something that can be deemed as equivalent or something that is needed for the department, but we do not offer it. So yes, you don't have to, let's say, have an exact match.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you all for your questions so far. Let's continue with the talk. And then once Prof. Simon Grima finishes from his intervention, maybe we can accept some more questions, or even maybe some more information comes out which might answer questions which students have. So now I can give the floor to you, Prof. Simon Grima, who is Deputy Dean at the Faculty of Economics Management and Accountancy, and also to talk about the Erasmus in general as well. So.
Okay, you can even make it, let's say, an interactive thing. I'm open for any questions. Sorry I butted in, Janice. It's just that maybe
it's even better that we have someone from faculty, because sometimes there are questions that we cannot answer. We deal more with the logistic aspects.
Exactly. No, we are, as I told you already, we are encouraging people to go to the Erasmus Plus or else any other type of exchange. Okay. In fact, just to let you know, we are going to sign an agreement with the Servizi Europea Malta, okay, which is the services for Maltese European operations. And this is in Valletta. And we are doing this specifically to encourage students to go on Erasmus programs, Erasmus or any other European programs which are funded by the EU and which can help students mature. Now, we are even looking at possibilities to answer Andrea's that's a question. We are even looking at the possibilities of sending students to internships abroad through the European Union. We're seeing how it's going to work and for how long, and looking at the logistics also. And we have asked, we have signed an MOU. We are signing actually as we speak an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, with this institute, okay, which is located in Malta, but even in Brussels. Hopefully we will encourage students to go on internships, on Erasmus programs, on study periods during the summer, if not during the year. Okay. Now, so this is one. Other things that we are doing also to encourage students. I mean, I've been taking students to Italy, Lewis University, for a trading competition, trading and risk management competition now for about, I think 6-7 years. And this happens every 2 years. But because of COVID, and last year, 2 years ago, we postponed it to last year, which happened last year. I managed to take 8 students, but we did it online. So for the next, so instead of having it every 2 years, we're going to do it every year now. And hopefully, if in August, COVID permitting, I mean, if August is fine, we will take up around six students, not 6, 12 students, 6 boys and 6 girls, because that's how it works. Okay. They need to apply, and they will participate for 1 week in a trading competition. This is fully funded, by the way, and it's certified also, and it's fully funded with Lewis University and the Rotmas Business School in Canada, one of the top business trading schools and risk management schools. We have also done a lot of agreements, and we're doing another, as maybe Ms. Mercia can tell you, we are trying to do agreements with universities both in the EU and out of the EU. We are trying to get another agreement with a university in Germany. I have done some agreements also with the universities in Italy and others in Poland, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania. I mean, there are various agreements, and I have been to them. Most of them I have been to them. I have been on exchange programs myself. I go practically every year since before COVID to Latvia, where I participate on training programs. I train people on risk management in Latvia. And I have been on these programs, and I have met also with students from, on Erasmus programs from different universities, and the courses are in English. Obviously, it's a little bit more cold but green in Latvia. If you want something more warm, you would go to Italy. We made an agreement with Lewis, Università del Sacro Cuore, Roma La Sapienza. I mean, and I also lectured in Università del Sacro Cuore in Milan, where my class is basically, there were about 300 students. And in my class, there were about 30 different countries. And we're not talking only Europe. So you can imagine, I mean, your English has to be, a perfect English to be able to lecture in something like this. So it is not a school that is in Italian. So for those who fear that they don't know Italian or they don't know French, and they're going to these schools because they don't know the language, these are, I mean, the language is, I mean, they speak very good English. Okay, the lecturers, because I've been to some of the talks also, and even the students. The students are international. For example, I can tell you Università del Sacro Cuore, the student's house is exactly opposite the university. It is not expensive to live there. It is very friendly. It is very close to what Malta is. In Latvia, for example, it's slightly different because it is colder. But again, I mean, there is a student house close by, and the language, I mean, outside they don't speak English, but inside everybody knows how to speak English. So because if you've got an internship in school. Lewis is the same. You can get around really easy in Rome. I mean, and so for those who like football, I mean, they can go around and watch football also, because I mean, the stadiums are very, very close. Even in Milan, they're very, very close. And there's good transportation also. And there is a student community. So, I mean, it's not just, you know, you're left alone, you're the only student over there. There's a community, they go out together, they eat together, you know, there is even where to go, a canteen. They are given a card with subsidized food. So this is at least where I was. In Poland, it's the same. Okay. Germany, it's the same also. So we encourage you, you know, to do these things. Regarding also what we are working on, and we have spoken to the ASCS about it. We are working on trying to give the students ECTSs, okay, for internships, which they can go with Erasmus Plus or with any other type of sponsor or other programs from the EU. We're trying to put in the program, embed it in the program, okay, maybe not make it compulsory, okay, for placements or internships with for example, we're trying to talk to Generali, in my case, or Allianz, okay, to work in the different areas so that you get to understand what the business is all about. We're also working on, and I have been doing it for about 3 years until COVID started. We take students also abroad for 1 week, you know, to get a feel of the industry, get a feel of the different industries. Not only I have done it, but I know that management and marketing have taken up some students to Poland. They have made an Erasmus Plus agreement with Poland and Kosovo, which is out of Europe, and I don't know which other country, and Germany, yes, and Germany. So I mean, these are all initiatives that we are doing. You need to keep abreast of them, and you need to help us also so that we can help you. I mean, if we do a program and nobody comes for it, and we have to run after the students to join, it doesn't work, you know. So we need your participations, your ideas, okay, so that we can help you. I mean, we are, let's say, you are a lot of students. We are 3, 4, 5, you know, in my department, we are basically four lecturers, you know, so, and I have different roles. I'm a deputy dean, I'm a head of department, and I've got other things to do. I have to lecture also. So, and I lecture in different faculties. So it is important that if you need something, you come to us. And then obviously you deal also with Ms. Mercia and the rest. Also on the fact that 55% in our case, I mean, we don't have any you know, restrictions to get 55%. I don't know the other departments, but my department, if you passed, you can apply. If you are eligible to come to the Department of Insurance, because I can speak about the Department of Insurance, and as far as I know, the other departments, with maybe the exception of some of them, don't have that restriction. The restriction can be because you apply for the same university and they can only take 3 people or 4 persons, okay? Now, I know that in my department, you can go whenever you want. You don't need to go in the first semester, second semester, third semester. You can go anytime you want. You can even go for a year, as long as you do relevant subjects. Even in the master's program. The master's program, we've got an MSc in Insurance and Risk Management. In my case, I cannot say in the other cases. I hope that the others are doing the same. I allow them, even if they want to go for the 2 semesters, they start off with us, they go to the 2 semesters in in wherever they want, an equivalent university, and then they do their dissertation in Malta. So the dissertation will be done during summer, but ours is over a year. Maybe, for example, Università del Sacro Cuore, I know is over 2 years. So if you're going to go to Università del Sacro Cuore as equivalent, okay, the faculty is equivalent, you need to match the amount of ECTSs with ours, okay, with what we have in Malta. There are also universities in the Netherlands. I've been to some of them. They are very good. There is in Belgium also. There's Leuven, if I'm not mistaken. There are the 2 Leuvens. They are 2 good universities. What else? I hope I exhausted everything, but we've been trying to do all this, you know, over the past years and the past weeks. I mean, it started years ago. I mean, before, let's say, I think around 10 years ago, we started encouraging students, and now we are on the point also of trying, you know, to put it also in the program itself. But it's very difficult, you know, to fit in 8 ECTSs compulsory, and then you say, which subject can I take off? That is a problem with accounts mainly, because they have a warrant set to it. It's even a problem with other departments, such as ours, such as mine, because I am also linking the department to the Association of Risk Management. So, and maybe banking is doing the same, and marketing and management are doing the same, and even economics. So you have to keep a certain amount of core subjects. But we believe, we're coming from an area where we believe that the that internship, okay, internships and working in the industry is a very important, let's say, subject, an important thing to do. Basically, these are the things. We are also encouraging people to present. Okay, and another thing I wanted to tell you about is I also participated in and took students to Cyprus on an Erasmus Plus, and these students, I mean, have spent 2 weeks with me and other universities. We were our university, Latvia University, Liechtenstein, and Luxembourg. And actually the small countries, Luxembourg and Cyprus. And in the end, these students have remained, you know, they used to go out together, and they made a community of their own, and they've got a network of their own. Some of them are even working in industries together. So these are the small countries within the EU. There are 7 small countries within the EU. Liechtenstein is out of the EU. And the rest are within. However, again, another thing, don't be scared of going to Serbia, Montenegro, Macedonia, the Balkans, Romania. They've got good universities, Hungary, and the Baltics, you know, and even maybe Scandinavian countries. We tend to go a lot to the UK because we know the UK, or maybe closer to Italy. However, because of the language, we usually go to UK or Ireland or Scotland. Well, there are other universities that are very good, okay, especially in our areas, and you should experiment a little bit with going there, even learning new cultures. Thank you very much. Any questions? I mean, I'm ready to answer them. You can even, following this meeting, you can even come to me or send me an email, and I'll be happy to answer.
So I open the floor. So thanks first of Prof. Simon Grima for that explanation. I once again open the floor to any questions. If anyone would like to forward any questions, you can do so now, while we have Ms. Jenny Smirci and also Prof. Simon Grima present, who are answering questions specifically for FEMA students. So this is for you guys.
Yes. Because I was checking the list of universities available, and under each university, there's written the study units that there are. Those we choose from them, or we'll have to do all of them that are listed there.
You can choose up to, let's say, if you're going for one semester, you have 60 CTSs. So you have to choose 60 CTSs, 30 from one, which are equivalent to one major, and 30 from the other major.
So for example,
That is if you go for a full year. Of course, if you go for a semester, it's 15 and 15.
15 and 15 for a semester, sorry.
Or
It will be 3 or 4 subjects each semester. It depends on the equivalency that they've got, because some of them write in credits and some of them write in ECTSs. Ours are in ECTSs, so you have to find the equivalent of a credit to an ECTS.
Okay, Jenny, thank you very much. So I've heard some other people who are just about to speak. Okay, I'm not sure whether they're still here. You can speak now. I think that we'll answer their questions later. So now, because I've been speaking to Mr. Nigel Caruana and he has to leave soon, I will give the floor to him. He is a third year BCom student who experienced Erasmus, and he's going to be giving us a small presentation from his side on what his experience was all about. So now, Nigel, I can give the floor to you, and I think I can need to make you co-host so that you can share your screen, and I think you can do so now.
Mela.
No worries. You can take your time. Yes, we're seeing your presentation. Thank you.
Mela. Il-presentation tiegħek tkun iktar naħa tal-informalità, fis-sens mhix ħadħol ħafna fid-dettalji li għadhom kemm daħlu Miss Janice u Professor Grima, u għantikom l-actual esperjenza li tiġi min naħa tal-istudenti. Mela, bażikament
to let you know, we're seeing also I think some sort of presenter view.
the presenter's view of the presentation,
You
Nigel.
might want to minimize that.
Mela ħanerġa' nipprova. Skużawni minix lecturer, m'għandix l-esperjenza kollha.
No worries. Ġa fil-kas tal-aħħom, but we'll figure it out. Ek, tajjeb. Thank you. Le, ma tidirx, tajjeb.
Tajjeb ħafna. Mela, bażikament l-esperjenza tiegħi kienet ġewwa Cork, bħal eżempju ta' Miss Janice, u kienet f'sena 2020-2021. Jiġifieri bdejt September 2020 u ġejt lura May 2021. By the way, ir-rizzotti kollha ħanurikom ħadthom jien, il-background ukoll ħadta jien hemmhekk bil-kamra tiegħi, ġifieri bażikament ħankontikom foto ta' kbira tal-rizzotti kollha ħadd hemmhekk. Mela fejn bażikament konti għad Cork jiena, University College Cork, nafx tasm probably jista' tidher Hogwarts di, kienet tidher sa Hogwarts kont qed niġri hemmhekk jisni Harry Potter. Bażikament Cork qatt ma smajt qabel biha, ma kellix idea x'kienet nistenna, kull ma l-influenza tiegħi kienet bażikament dar ritratt ta' alright mela ħajkun hemm colorful houses, Università sa Hogwarts u daqshekk sold ħamur lesti. Università sabiħa, il-modules qablu kollha, kelli ħafna jnuna minnaħa tal-HOD, kelli ħafna jnuna minnaħa tal-International.
Nigel, sorry ħanerġa' nwaqfek, imma the thing popped up again and we can't see the photos.
Jien naħseb kull marra trid tagħmel huwa tafas minimize, naħseb mixejn komplikata jew partikolari.
I know, tafas zoom għamil updates and now everything you do on the screen, even if you move your mouse, we can see it.
Tajjeb, ma kont qed nurikom is-sigreti kollha tiegħi.
Imma you were off to a good start, that was good.
U li għasra xem ritratti vera sbieħu nixtieqhom jarawhom l-istudenti.
Mela, ħadd advanced sharing options.
While we're doing this, while you figure it out, Nigel, what I can say personally is that I've also experienced Erasmus. I went way back in 2018. I went to a school named Unter den Eichen in German. It's named Under the Trees. And the specific university name I'm forgetting at the moment. I know that that was the name of the campus. Overall, the experience was very amazing. You learn how to truly live your life, or from being independent, from meeting connections abroad. It's what really made me the person that I am today. So to anyone who is interested or is wanting to go on Erasmus, I cannot say, it gives you so much that you can take from it. So I highly suggest it to anyone who's interested. And yes, that was my experience in Germany, in Wiesbaden. I forgot the name of the university, if I can find it.
And something I want to point out, I don't think FEMA students understand how lucky we are that our faculty pushes us and works so much with us to go on Erasmus. Because there are some faculties, tipo li mhux kulħadd jgħinhom, imma għalna l-fakultà tagħna, we are so lucky l-fakultà tagħna kemm Professor Simon Grima, kemm Dr. Said, dejjem kienu helpful, tipo if you need to sit down regarding credits, if you need to sit down, tipo stadjuni x'suppost nażel, tipo what are my options, tipo so I would tipo personally take this opportunity, tipo if you have the chance.
Exactly. So as Michaela said, take this opportunity to learn more about it and get to know more. Maybe Nigel Caruana can give us an update on how things are going from his end. At the moment, I don't think we have any response. I think what we can do, there is another...
10 seconds, 10 seconds, Jay.
Okay, all right. So while we wait, there is also another student who can talk about her experience. Her name is Elissa Carlea. She is a second-year BCom student. Maybe you can put your camera and the microphone on. And while we wait, we can also hear your experience.
Hi, yes. So I can share my screen, or should we wait for Nigel?
You have a presentation as well?
Go ahead.
I don't know if Nigel, you wanted to leave earlier because
no, it's okay. I managed. Go ahead, Elisa.
Okay, so
you have the floor, so you can present as well.
Important to know that Elisa is currently on Erasmus ġifieri, so this is an experience firsthand.
Okay, very good.
Okay, so as Michaela said, I'm currently in Lithuania doing my Erasmus experience. So I will be talking about how it has been so far and what I went through. So I will be starting off what it's like to live in another country. So as I said, I'm currently in Lithuania, living in a student dorm with a Turkish roommate. Before this experience, I personally had never been away from home. So leaving the comfort of my own room, my own bed was a little scary, not going to lie. And a lot of people who I talk to also have this fear. People who are interested in going to Erasmus have this fear for some reason, and it's very granted. But living in a new country is such a beautiful thing because everything is new and undiscovered. And I think living alone was one of the most fulfilling experiences I've had here because it has allowed me to grow so much as a person. I mean, when you're here, you're the only one responsible for yourself. It really shapes you to become more independent. And at the end of the day, you'll eventually get used to it like everything else and actually enjoy having full control of your life. But on the other hand, you're not really here alone. So I came to Lithuania, not knowing the language, not knowing the culture. I barely knew where it was on the map. And I'm not the best at making friends. Like I sometimes find it difficult to talk to people, but I came here alone and I didn't intend to leave that way. obviously it's Erasmus. One of the main points of Erasmus is to build great relationships with people. So I made an effort, and I have since met so many amazing people with whom I now have great friendships with. People who went from being complete strangers living miles away to friends who you cook with, travel with, party with, and obviously study with, because that's what you're here to do after all. The Erasmus experience creates such amazing friendships, because in my case, you're seeing these people every day. I didn't even see my friends back home every day. So without any effort at all, suddenly you've known each other. It's like you've known each other for years, you know? I mean, we are still living together and already talking about visiting each other in the summer, because we know we're going to miss each other so much. And not only have I built good relationships with these people, but they have taught me so much also about their culture, about their language. I mean, most of my friends here are Spanish. And it was a bit hard to communicate at first, not going to lie, because I have no understanding whatsoever of the language Spanish, and English in Spain is not given so much importance as I came to learn. But I can now confidently say that I have a good basis of the Spanish language, and even they get to practice English with me, and they have since improved it so much also. Another great opportunity I have while being here is traveling. I have always loved traveling, but never had much time for it. You know, life can get so fast, and people work and study and have other commitments. And that's the great thing, I think, about one of the great things about being on Erasmus is that everyday life is kind of at a standstill. Apart from studying, all you have is free time, and you can just do things that you never had the opportunity to do before. So yeah, Erasmus is a great opportunity to explore new places, not just the country you'll be studying in. In the past 2 months, I visited 3 countries apart from Lithuania, and I'm actually planning to visit at least 4 more by the end of the semester. I'm actually going to Finland tomorrow, so really excited about that. Finland has been on my bucket list forever, so really excited for it. And again, seeing new places helps you grow as a person and expands your knowledge. Most of the countries I visited is what you would call ex-Soviet countries, and the stories and history you come to learn when going to these places is amazing. And you know, it's one thing to hear stories about such places, but it's another thing to actually be standing on the same floor that so many great stories happened. I think it's really beautiful. So yeah, I really encourage you to go for it. We are so, as Michaela said, we are so lucky to have access to such experiences, so take advantage of it. You know, Malta, your friends, your family, everything will be there when you go back, but such experiences might not always be available. So I do encourage you to go to Lithuania even. I mean, when I told my parents that I'm coming here, they were shocked. We all had our reserves with regards to Baltic countries. I think everyone kind of sees such places as, you know, they look at them differently than how we would look at the UK or Italy. But I think you should really go for it, because it might just surprise you. So yeah, I hope my experience helped you get a clear idea of what Erasmus is, and I would love to answer any questions that you might have if there is any.
Very nice presentation, Elissa. You're reminding me of the nice memories which I've had when I was back in Germany as well. And it facilitates life in the sense that when you're in the center of Europe, you can visit a lot of different countries.
Yes, for sure.
I remember during my time, during the weekend, we usually did not have a lot of stuff to do, and we would just grab a bus, literally, travel
Yeah.
miles, and the next morning you wake up in another country. there's the very famous company Flixbus. You
Yeah.
hear it amongst Erasmus students. It's like, let's go.
And
there.
even while you're on the bus, you
Yes,
visit
just start
like
meeting
3
new
different
people.
countries. Like
It's
it's
an
crazy.
amazing experience.
Yes,
So,
something which we don't have in Malta, surrounded by the sea.
exactly. Unfortunately, the island state of Malta limits us
Yes.
in that aspect, unfortunately. But yes, thank you, Elissa. If you have any questions for her, you can personally pass them on to her, or you can pass them on to us as ASCS, and then we can forward them to her. We can do either or.
I do have a question. Someone asked, what are my majors? My majors are marketing and public policy. So
those are the majors of Elissa.
yes, and I would like to thank my head of departments, which helped me so much in choosing, like the amount of emails I sent them. I think they were going crazy, but they really do help you, and I'm really thankful for our department and our head of departments. They will for sure make it an easy, like they will facilitate your application process and everything. So don't worry about that. Any questions you have, they will for sure answer.
Thank you very much, Elissa.
Thank you.
May I kindly ask you to thank you, stop sharing. And now we'll be hearing once again the presentation from Mr. Nigel Caruana, attempt number 2.
Please, ملا طيب منش نوتس
لا ما شيء
طيب ملا حنبدا ملا باسيكامنت ايرلاند Economics Public Policy 2020-2021 ħanaġġelna għal ewwel ftit slides fej Cork, Hogwarts, whatever, sunset sabiħa. Cork, dawra ta' tixtaq nurikom l-ewwel li il-perċezzjoni tiegħi fuq Cork ma kienu ftit ritratti u naqa' mill-Università li smajt, naf li hemm government department tajjeb. ċempilt il-roommates tijaj, kienu indjani il-roommates tijaj, ċaw il-ħbieb, ċaw il-familja, ċaw il-kelba u tlaqt. Fast forward 9 xhur wara, jien għamilt 3 semesters u dar it-tratti tijaj wara lejl nibki ħammur naqbad il-flight lura biex niġi Malta. Ġara between, ħafna. Wert dik il-biki kollu, wert il-logistical hassle li jmiss kolla li kellna bat il-Miss Janice, spoiler Eva, għal xiex, number 1, independence. Ma nistax nistressja l-importanza tal-esperjenza minnaħa tal-indipendenza, vera li city ġdida, vera li ma naf il-ħadd, vera li għal-bidu tkun naqa' mitluf, imma tkun liberu. Tkun tista' tagħmel li trid, jekk tiddeċiedi li lejl minnu wara tistudja ħammur nintafaħ lejn river nara sunrise niżla waħdi, tista' tagħmel hekk tmur tilgħab bowling, tista' tmur tilgħab bowling, tista' tagħmel li trid. U ma stax nistressi l-importanza għal di anke minnaħa ta' Maltin. Malta fl-opinjoni tiegħi ma midwist, kemm vera di statistika li turina li aħna ta' 30 tun nitilqu mill-ewwel darba mid-dar tal-ommijiet u missirijietna, ġifieri fil-verità tkun l-ewwel esperjenza tiegħek titlaq mid-dar. Mamid wis, dak picture tal-baby tiegħi meta kont qed inkun mamid. U vera, l-affarijiet ma jmorrux kif trid inti, kisser il-forn, titfassa tkun fin-naħa l-oħra tal-washing machine, ikollok tagħmel video koll ommok, tispjegalek liema buttuni trid tafas u fejn titfal ħwejjeġ. Fil-bidu li kell tiegħek jaf ikun jidher ħafna basic u jaf taqta' subbajk ġol blender meta prova tagħmel protein shake, l-affarijiet jiġru. Tjaf ukoll tinsa tafas delivery option meta tordna cabinet ikollok tittejpja mal-rota biex toħodha lura fil-appartament tiegħek, imma worth it. Il-libertà li tħossu l-fatt li tiddeċiedi inti il-lifestyle tiegħek, tiddeċiedi inti kif ħatqassam ħinek ma nistax nesprimja biżejjed il-fatt li inti tħossok liberu u tiddeċiedi inti l-affarijiet kif tagħmelhom, esperjenza kienet tal-bliħa lija u fl-aħħar anke li kelli jaf jidherna aħjar. Number 2, l-iktar ħaġa li ħalet impatt miegħi hija l-ħbieb li għamilt. Fil-każ tiegħi persi kienet waqt il-pandemija ma tantx iltqajt ma' ħafna nies ma' ammont kbir ta' nies, imma ltqajt ma' ftit nies li kienu ta' kwalità. Din huwa l-ikbar grupp foto li ħanurikom illum, di kienet fil-bidunet tal-esperjenza u mhux tkunx tħarsu lejn l-oljiet sbieħ ħodor imma lejn nista' quddiem, hemmhekk hemm madwar 8 nazzjonalitajiet Tunizjani, mhux biss mill-Ewropa, ġifieri, Russi, Italjani, Franċiżi, Spanjoli, Irlandiżi, imma li kellna kollha komuni li kulħadd ġi l-ewwel darba Ireland, kulħadd ġi mingħajr ma kellu daqshekk ħbieb, jiena kont Malti waħdi u mal-ewwel tagħmel ħbieb għax konverzazzjoni żgħira tibdija mal-ewwel u l-ħbieb li tagħmel jibqgħu miegħek għal high-tech, dak kien il-best friend tiegħi għamilt hemmhekk, wieħed Ġermaniż. Għadna nitkellmu New Year's Eve ġej Malta u sirna ħbieb l-iktar mod stramp, l-iktar mod lettarment skoprejt li jgħix fl-istess blokka ta' appartament tiegħi, sidinni għal flixkum berra u logħba bil-cards, flixkum berra wieħed sar tnej u striħan kemm qiegħda to 2 days wara qed nibku fl-aħħar lejl tagħna meta sejrin lura d-dar f'Dublin. Jaf tagħmel affarijiet off your bucket list mal-ħbieb li tagħmel hemmhekk, hawnhekk għamilna surfing, dak kienu fil-background, irnexxieli tagħma dar-tat wisq ġobni. Mbagħad second semester actually I moved in with my best friends li kienu dal-Ġermaniż u tfajl oħra Franċiża. Il-Ġermaniż kienet jistudja economics bħali, ma l-Franċiża kienet tistudja literature. Fis-sens ma konniex limitati għal xed tistudja, ma limitati għal international students, Erasmus students ġo pajjiż ġdid. Skelli ngħid il-roommates Indjani li kienu rajt ħafna u vera għandna forsi naqa' preġudizzju lejn nies Indjani ma kienu l-iktar host tal-bliħ li kelli fl-appartament u kienu jsajru tajjeb ħafna. Imma preferejt immur ma' nies li għandhom interessi simili, ma' ħbieb li naqbel ħafna iktar magħhom u tispiċċa anke tafdhom b'affarijiet li qasilhom ma kont tafda bħal jaqtawlek xarek. U fil-rajt ukoll għandi lessons tal-Franċiż ma' roommate tiegħi fejn tallimt un petit de français. Fis-sens din il-connection li tagħmlu dawn il-bieb hija precious ħafna, fis-sens ma tistax tikkwantifika dik l-interess li kulħadd qiegħed mitluf, kulħadd qiegħed jisu nixtieq nagħmel il-bieb, kulħadd għandu dak l-interess. Intix introverti, jogħġbokx il-futbol, ma jogħġbokx kull tip ta' ħaġa, hemmhekk kulħadd irid li willing jixxamel il-ħbieb u anke l-iktar nies kwiet introverti li jqogħdu fuq tal-klassi fir-rokna jitkellmu u jagħmlu ħbieb miegħek. Number 3, academic rigor, ma sibx nagħti heart attack lil Professor Grima, imma studjajt ħafna, kien hemm ħafna studju għaddej, l-università kienet diffiċli ħafna, ċajta vera kien hemm studju għaddej. Ħafna mill-ħin tiegħi kien qiegħed l-università kien hemm hybrid format ta' lectures għaddejjin. Fil-bidu vera sibtu naqa' diffiċli kemm nidra sistema ġdida, anke kif il-sistema Irlandiża taħdem id-differenza tas-sistema Maltija, imma once taqbad fir-rutina, once tidħol fuq titgħallem x'qed jistennew minnek, tidħol fir-rutina taqbad sew u tmur tajjeb. Fil-verità Erasmus mhix holiday, għal volja ħamilkom dal-ittatti kollha dal-kors kollu Erasmus mhux holiday, fis-sens xorta hemm ħafna offerta tal-università li titgħamel. U personalment, kif għattilkom sibtu naqa' diffiċli fil-bidu biex naġġastja, imma meta mbagħad sirt vera student effiċjenti u mhux biċċajt il-marki tiegħi marru aħjar. Mhux normali tiġri li waqt Erasmus il-marki jmorru aħjar, ma peress li trid tfendi għal rasek u trid titgħallem kif issir effiċjenti, second semester il-marki għolew ħafna iktar minn qatt li kienu Malta. U anka issa ġejt lura Malta tallimt ħafna strateġiji ġodda u tallimt jiena kif nista' naħdem iktar effiċjenti bil-ftit ħin li kolli u fit-timetable tiegħi waqt li qed Malta issa nista' nlaħħaq ħafna iktar affarijiet. Min-naħa tiegħi fil-naħa ta' economics u policy li hemmhekk issejjaħ government kien hemm department tajjeb ħafna, fis-sens ħafna mill-professors kienu jaħdmu konsulenti mal-gvern jew gvern Irlandiż jew konsulenti mal-EU biex jiġibulek ħafna perspettivi li qabel kieku kont ħanibqa' Malta kontx ħanismagħhom. U għenuni ħafna biex naħseb iktar outside of the box li mhux dak li nitgħallem jieħdu daqs li kieku ktieb, imma titgħallem kif targumenta, titgħallem kif tibni t-teżi tiegħek f'assignment, titgħallem kif you write your own notions, jħobbu jgħid ħafna Ireland. U ovvjament il-differenza fil-academic rigor hija tidher ġifieri fis-sens Malta hija ranked 800 to 1000 university, hemmhekk kienet ranked fit-top 300 university, dik il-qabża tħossha wkoll fil-livell ta' kwalità ta' edukazzjoni li tkun qed tieħu. Imma waħda mill-iktar esperjenzijiet li baqa' tal-qalbi hija li niġri madwar Ireland. Sfortunatament Ireland hija island oħra li ma stax nagħmel bħal Elissa ndur kull pajjiż li hemm fl-Ewropa, imma xorta irnexxi ndur. Bħalma qal ukoll Daniel fil-weekend ikollok ħafna free time, jekk jiena xejn taħdem fost il-ġimgħa, u l-passjoni li ħadd gost ħafna nagħmel jien hija hiking u ndur naqgħod mal-erba' tiħbib li kelli. Ireland għal volja l-bart u sħab kullimkien u s-sabiħa għal-hiking, jaf anka issib shipwreck in the coast taqbad titla' fuqu, kastelli kullimkien, jaf tmur Dublin ukoll u tesperjenza cities li smajt bihom mhux Cork biss. Mbagħad fl-aħħar ġimgħatej tal-esperjenza wara spiċċat l-Università u spiċċaw l-eżamijiet, benġina dil-mappa fuq il-friġġ tal-appartament, pjanajna itinerary sħiħa u rotta sħiħa u flimkien ma' roommates tiegħi badna train u bdejna nduru Ireland, rajna waterfalls, lakes, cliffs, montanji, hiking fil-montanji, lighthouses, kienet l-albiet, dawk il-ġimgħatej tal-aħħar fejn dur pajjiż li huwa fl-opinjoni tiegħi underrated ħafna esperjenza li vera ġelek tħossok tapprezza il-natura fil-verità. Bħala logistics biex nagħlaq naqafu kwestjoni li ħafna nies jgħidu li ma kif irnexxielek tlaħħaq ma tisir, kif irnexxielek tagħmel il-ħwejjeġ, kif irnexxielek tixxilek. Fil-verità jidru ħafna kbar meta tkun qiegħed Malta. L-ewwel ġimgħa vera ħadd tmur f'dak il-każ ma kienx hemm lidl li ma kien hemm Aldi u jekk tmur bil-ġuħ ħadd tispiċċa tixxi Aldi kollu, jew jekk ħadd tispiċċa bil-fridge void ħadd tispiċċa nafti kol sandwich bil-ġobon, imma kull ma ħadd tiġilek darba titgħallem minnha l-ħaġa, titgħallem kif tittasal l-università u qed ngħidilkom wara ġimgħatej wara ġimgħa l-iktar titgħallmu kif tfendu wara skont tagħmlu kif taħslu l-ħwejjeġ. Ħalli għali fotejt xi tliet sweaters imma ma ġara xejn il-ħwejjeġ jinbidlu l-esperjenza tibqa' hemmhekk. Nissuġġerilkom li taħsbu kmieni, bħalma qalet Ms. Janice hija importanti li tikkomunikaw. In-nies tal-International Office imbirikom wiġbu kull 7,000 email li batt. Meta ċempiltilhom mal-ewwel wiġbuni, meta kien hemm issues ħabba l-COVID ukoll ċempiltilhom u wiġbuni, heads of department l-istess, għenuni ħafna wkoll biex nagħżel il-modules meta kont ta' Ireland, ġifier ma ħallewniex nażel jien naf xi Oriental Studies jew xi Chinese imma vera orjawni x'inhuma il-modules li vera ħajjnuni biex intejjeb u nkabbar l-edukazzjoni li ħanieħu minn hemmhekk. U vera nixtieq ngħidulhom thank you minn issa, speċjalment kif hawn Ms. Janice. Aħsbu f'accommodation qabel fil-każ ta' Ireland, fil-każ ta' pajjiżi li huma expensive bħal Malta hemm naqa' kriżi xkejkna kif issib ir-renta, allura l-affarijiet li joffrulek l-università jaf ikunu wis expensive, naturalment l-accommodation joffrit l-università kienet 1,200 per month li jgħattilhom sorry no, imma ħansib waħda lija, u sib waħda lija kull ma kien xi 450. Jiġifieri xorta imma trid tibbaġġetja, ma nistax ngħidilkom l-importanza li tibbaġġetja li taħseb qabel isma' x'lifestyle li tgħix. Fil-każ tiegħi grazzi Alla kien hemm ir-restaurants u l-pubs kollha magħluqin u ma stajtx intajjar ħafna flus hemmhekk. Allura stajt nfaddal iktar fis-sajf u nuża l-flus tiegħi biex indur Ireland. Dak kollox minn naħa tiegħi, fis-sens nispera li forsi konvinċkejtkom li tmorru esperjenza ta' Erasmus, ma nixtieqx nieħu ħafna iktar ħin, imma l-aħħar punt li nixtieq nagħmel li l-kelma li dejjem tiġini f'moħħija li tikber, li vera ta' matura, vera tikber, hemmhekk kien hemm statement li kien jgħidu ħafna l-International Office ta' hemmhekk li kienet exponential growth of international students li fl-ewwel ġimgħa skont taf fejn qiegħed imma fl-aħħar xahar tkun jisek Irlandiż kważi fil-każ tiegħi jew student li ilek hemmhekk 4 snin. Nispera li jekk ma tkunx tafu s-city mbagħad tispiċċaw tesperjenza bħalma esperjenzajtu jien, apprezzajt id-djar kollha kuluri apprezzajt l-Università ta' Darisa Hogwarts u bħalma qalet Elisa x'in tiġi lura Malta. Kollox hemmhekk. Dik il-kelba tifraħ bija meta ġejt lura fis-sens ma tantx tlift taffajt minn Malta. Thank you.
Kienet presentation differenti ma tajba ħafna. Naħseb l-istudenti nispera li huma konvinti biżejjed biex issa japprezzaw xi tfisser l-esperjenza ta' Erasmus u li tmur u l-esperjenza ħajntkom. Infatti kontu qed iġibu ħafna ritratti ma' gruppi differenti, jiena nexxiel insib il-grupp foto li konna ħadna wkoll mal-esperjenza li kelli jiena dan konna l-grupp literalment minn pajjiżi differenti, naħseb kien hemm xi 50 pajjiż hemmhekk, kulħadd minn postijiet differenti hemm. U once again nissuġġerija lil kulħadd min jitħajjar biex imur Erasmus. Għall-aħħar darba sakemm hawn kulħadd ħankun qed nerġa' niftaħ il-floor għall-mistoqsijiet sakemm taw ukoll magħna Miss Jenny Smerċi u anke Prof Simon Grima u wkoll studenti li esperjenzaw l-Erasmus, jiġifieri jekk xi ħadd jixtieq isaqsi l-ebda tip ta' mistoqsija, kull tip ta' mistoqsija jista' jsaqsija issa.
Nixtieq ngħidna proset lil Nigel u l-Elisa ħafna, nieħu gost nara daw l-esperjenzi. Aħna kif tafu intkom ġifieri paperwork li tkunu tridu tagħmlu intkom u il-headaches li jabdukom bihom, aħna ma nieħdux gost nipproċessawhom, mhux dik l-isbaħ ħaġa, ma l-isbaħ ħaġa nara lilkom tieħdu gost, nisma' iva vera jkun hemm ċertu diffikultajiet u dejjem jibqa' jiddispjaċini li meta kont studenta jien m'għamiltx l-Erasmus. Almenu xogħli ġifieri li nassistilkom ġieli jirrikjedi li jien ammur fuq xogħol fuq Erasmus ukoll, ġifieri almenu għandi xi opportunità żgħira, mhux twila daqs tagħkom ġimgħa kollox. Imma thank you ħafna u proset u jekk ikolkom bżonn xi ħaġa speċjalment int Elisa għadek hemmhekk. Kuntattjawna bħal dejjem u studenti li rridu japplikaw kelmuna tħallu xall-aħħar importanti u tkunu tridu pereżempju one-on-one Zoom session, feel free ikkuntattjawna u nagħmlu appuntament. Jekk mhux miegħi ma' tim tiegħi għandi tnej oħra jagħmlu l-istess xogħol fit-tim u jkunu jistgħu jassistu lilkom. Thank you.
Ukoll minn ħatija nixtieq ngħid thank you il-Nigel u l-Elisa for sharing their experiences. I can assure you that that is the experience that most of the students before you and even that are going through it now, I think there are some students that are going through it now. The paperwork is not so elaborate. I mean, don't get scared because of the paperwork. I filled it in also. So with you, your paperwork, I am filling in the same amount. I mean, I'm checking certain things, I'm filling them in. At the same time, we ourselves, when we go on as lecturers or administration, when we go on Erasmus abroad, it's the same thing. I mean, I've got a network, a very, very large network now. I am also on other things like boards, like the Federation of European Risk Management, Association of International Regulators. I'm also traveling, not now, but before. Now I'm traveling, yes, online. I'm doing most of the talks online. I'm traveling in last month, just alone. I traveled to India, North India. I traveled to Indonesia. I traveled to Brussels several times, Italy, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, Serbia, in a month, Kosovo. This is all in a month. I mean, usually these, and Dubrovnik also, usually these, I get to do, let's say, over a year, I get to do 6 of these countries. And you get a lot of friends. Every time you go somewhere, apart from the students that get to know about Malta and get to know, you know, about our country, we get to know about them. We get to know different cultures, different religions, different thoughts. And maybe we are not so different as we think, because some of us think, like Elissa was saying, why go to Poland? Why go to Serbia? I mean, a few years ago, I used to say, Serbia, what am I going to do in Serbia, you know? I mean, it was not, or Croatia, okay? I went just after the war in Croatia. And Kosovo, again. But when you go there, you see that we are very similar. We are not so, I mean, we are very small as a country, and you grow a lot. You tend to do a lot of things on your own. And you tend even to open up your mind for new ventures and new ideas, even when you are in the workplace. I mean, I've experienced a lot of changes before I became a lecturer. And those changes have everything that I have done has helped me, you know, be what I am today. The same thing yourselves, especially now you're lucky that you can experience these things at a younger age. In my time, nobody would have expected us to go abroad. And if you went abroad, I mean, I had gone abroad also, to go to the UK, you had no mobiles. You had no way of phoning back home. When I went on work activities for even 3 weeks, okay, and even more, I had a child just born, and I couldn't phone home regularly. If something happened, I mean, I don't know what, you know. So at the end of the day, I would have gone at, I don't know, at 6 o'clock to a telephone booth, putting in coins to try and phone home. Today, you've got all the luxury. You can Zoom in, you can go to different countries, talk to people in different countries, actually for free, with WhatsApp or with Viber or with Signal or with Zoom, MS Teams. So you've got all this luxury. I mean, and you've got, and it's paid. We had to pay a lot to go abroad. You know, I mean, why not take the opportunity just because you have to write a few sentences, or because you're going for a week and you don't have your parents helping you? Okay, you might have other problems and other issues, but I mean, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those persons who have the opportunity, okay, to go abroad. Good luck. If you need anything, I am always there when I don't have other commitments, but I will make time for you. If you want me to phone you, I will phone you, so you won't get, if you want to Zoom, I will Zoom. Even Ms. Mercia, if there are any problems, just get back to me, tell me, or things that we can do or improve, tell us, and we will try to do it. Even Michaela and I forgot your name.
David,
Michaela and David. If you know anything from ASCS that you want us to do, or you think is good that we have in the faculty, let me know.
Very good. It's very good to hear that, you know, this collaboration is required. Right, I just heard the thunder there.
It's important also to mention that if you have any questions, if you don't feel comfortable communicating with the international office or the Erasmus office or the faculty themselves, feel free to message us. It's easier maybe on the page, and we can forward the questions to the faculty or to the Erasmus office. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help us or answer your questions.
Exactly. So any questions, you can forward them to them directly, or either to me as international officer or to the organization in general, and we will be more than happy to help you. On a final note, sorry for keeping you here, just to let you know that we're mentioning being abroad, etc. We have our business trip, which we will be going to Budapest. If anyone is interested, this $399, I think it's a very good price for Budapest, and we'll be going from the 16th to the 21st of February. And I highly suggest it for everyone who would have just finished from exams and want to experience a bit something different. If anybody wants to apply and has any questions about this as well, let me know. On that note, I think that's all for today. I would like to thank all the presenters who were with us today, specifically Ms. Jenny Smercia. We had also Prof. Simon Grima. We had also 2 students, Elissa Carlea and also Nigel Caruana. Thank you once again for being able to be part of this. and I wish you a good afternoon. Hopefully, if you're going to be traveling, do it fast, because I think it's going to start raining now. So see you guys, and thank you very much.
Thank you all for joining. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you and
you.
good luck. Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.